So thank you, Courtney, for agreeing to do this interview. We really appreciate it. You've been a ventureLAB client for 2.5 years now. Can you share with us a bit about what ForaHealthyMe does?
ForaHealthyMe.com is a web and mobile platform designed to support patients living with chronic conditions, whether it's chronic kidney disease, congestive heart failure. The idea is to create a virtual platform, a virtual clinic, so that clinicians and patients can engage in a virtual environment. We're in the process of developing some new applications for telehealth, so direct-to-patient video consultations. The whole idea, again, is keeping the patient out of the hospital, enabling them to recuperate in an environment that they're familiar with.
You brought some deep healthcare experience to your new venture from a successful career at both Johnson & Johnson and AstraZeneca. In what ways did your background in these large corporations assist you in starting ForaHealthyMe?
What inspired me was the interaction I had with patients and some clinicians at hospitals, and I kind of looking at it from the perspective of how do you improve care with within a system where there are so many gaps. And it came to me over a period of time that blending healthcare and technology around a patient-centric solution was probably the way to go. And so that knowledge, that experience that I brought from both backgrounds, from both environments, came in very, very nicely.
So on the flip side, working with large organizations is very, very different from being an entrepreneur with a new startup. What were some of the eye-opening challenges and obstacles you had to deal with and overcome?
It's been tough because all the decisions that you make are yours. You make decisions today and you won't know the impact until maybe a year later on. You decide what direction you're going in as a company, what product you want to develop, who you want to engage with. There are multiple ways, there are multiple paths you can take, and you choose one and you hope that that's the right one. I would say that the thing that I've found most fulfilling has been the opportunity to move ideas forward. Right? Things can get stuck and you discover a lot about yourself. There's obviously the fear, the anxiety of not knowing what tomorrow brings, of not knowing whether your partners will still be on board with you tomorrow, or whether those people who you're engaged with at an institution will actually be in their role next day. And so sometimes you end up having to start over. But being persistent and trying to overcome the fear of failure. And I say to people when they say, "Oh, you've done so well, you're so successful," I said, I don't consider myself successful. I don't consider myself as having achieved anything much. I think I'm just more afraid of failure than anything else, and that is what kind of gets me going.
So when you first became a ventureLAB client several years ago, you were frustrated with entrepreneurship and giving very serious consideration to returning to a mainstream job. How important to your decision to forge ahead with your company was the advisory support and services that ventureLAB provided?
Had it not been for the team here at ventureLAB, I would have given up. Without having a set of advisors, irrespective of who you are, you're trying to develop, you're trying to take an idea and turn it into a product. And the odds of succeeding are pretty daunting. 9 out of 10 startups fail. So without having the right ecosystem, the right environment, and the right level of support of people who say, "We believe in your idea, here's how we're going to help you advance it." Because as a first timer, there is just, and I've grown up in a corporate culture, there's so much you don't know, enormous gaps in your knowledge, and it's good to have the experts, people who've been there, people who've developed companies, people who've worked with entrepreneurs to say, here's how we're going to do it, and this is the path we're going to take, and it's worked out really, really well so far.
In the last 12 months, ForaHealthyMe has enjoyed a significant number of accomplishments. Can you share with us a bit about some of the critical milestones that you've achieved?
So milestones, well, we're working with a global pharmaceutical company on cardiovascular diseases, atrial fibrillation specifically. We're generating revenue. We're in the process of launching 2 new products in telehealth. So we're taking the current solution, the current platform that's very patient-centric, and we're changing the model a bit to become more clinician-centric. And by that, I mean it's going to become more of a tool that the doctor or a hospital will use to manage and engage patients. So our video conferencing capabilities, which are telehealth applications, will allow a hospital to connect with a patient virtually. So from a laptop, a tablet, or a mobile device, keeping the patient at home, reducing the stress and anxiety.
But looking back, is there anything that you would have done differently?
Wow. When you're in the moment, you have no time to think about what you should or shouldn't do, and sometimes it's just it's pretty overwhelming. So I honestly cannot. I'm sure there are things that I probably should have done differently. In fact, there are days I don't even know what I'm doing, to be honest with you. And but you just never know. It's an experience. You're just living it, right? And yes, I guess at some point in time one could always look back and say, I wish I'd done that differently. But it's hard to say because things have just kind of fallen in step. The networks and the collaboration and has really led to some really good work. So if you'd asked me, if the question was, did you see yourself doing this 3 years ago? Did you see yourself doing this? I would have said absolutely not. There's no way. 3 years ago, when I was at J&J, that I could conceive of myself doing anything like this because, you're in a corporation and everything. You're pretty much, you've got a pathway, versus when you're an entrepreneur, you've got to create that path. And so. No, I would never have imagined 3 years ago that I could be doing something like this, or that I'd be any good at it. But, the grace of God and friends and advisors, and it's come together pretty nicely. So I'm grateful for that.
Any regrets?
None that I can think of. Things work and some things don't work, and you learn from it and you move on. For every startup, you wish you could get to revenue faster, because then that's kind of the metric that everybody externally looks at and say, well, but you think of the personal development, the professional development, the growth, things that I've been able to do, people I've met who I would never otherwise have met. So if your question was 3 years ago, could you see yourself doing something like this? I would have said absolutely not. And if you said, now that you're doing it, are you enjoying the experience? I would say, absolutely. I can't think of anything else I'd rather be doing right now.
Despite these early successes, you still have a long road ahead as you grow and scale your company. In what ways can ventureLAB continue to assist you on this journey?
I think if we continue along the path where we're at around, so I know the wonderful thing about ventureLAB is what I've found, and which is why I've happily referred other potential clients, is you say the organization stays true to its commitment. If they say they're going to do something, they do it. And what I also enjoy is they're constantly looking at new ways to help companies grow. Getting out into the community, building relationships with the different hospitals, putting clients forward to work with those institutions, which, in the healthcare space, it is pretty difficult to get into a hospital setting. And then even once you're there, it becomes even that more challenging to make any kind of headway. And so what I've found really interesting and appreciative of is that ventureLAB continues to kind of pave the way where these things are concerned. So I think if we continue along that path of creating opportunities for companies, opening doors, providing the right types of programs, the right kinds of support, helping with funding opportunities when and where those become available. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, there's no looking back. It's kind of, how do we do this together going forward?
Thank you, Courtney. We are proud and committed to be on this journey together with you.
Thank you. I absolutely appreciate everything that you've done.